It glassed the planet.
And may the Schwartz be with you.
Boom, psh, boom, boom. Or maybe start it off this way.
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button. This ship will self-destruct in 3 minutes.
Yo, yo, yo! What's up, Grinders? Weekend edition! Yeah, what's up? Weekend edition. Bringing you the What Grinds My Gears on the weekend. Because I wanted to get this thing. I mentioned a little bit about it over on Salty's podcast. You know, shout out to Salty. Congrats on 8,000 subscribers. Yo, thank you again, Grinders, for joining in today. If you don't catch it live, you'll catch it on the replay. And hit that notification button and subscribe, because you never know when I'm going to go live. What's up, Callie? Yes, what's up, the Coup 1985? How you doing, Sam Ash? Yo, 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 yo. Yeah, so sorry for the delay. I know I posted out a tweet about it, but I wanted to make sure I had, like, you know, the clips and stuff like that I needed to do, because you know what, unlike the probably what I should be probably doing in YouTube, making a video and all that other stuff, I go live and just do it like a demonstration of live, like, you know, what I've seen and what I'm thinking, and that's, I guess, you know, the thing that I do. So, you know, with that, oh, we have a request. No deal.
No deal.
You're right, no deal. We're going to do something now. This is something I alluded to, and it's just things that I'm kind of making connections with. What's up, Darkside Havoc? How you doing? So I kind of mentioned, you can see from the title of the video, Cyber Dragon, how you doing? Like, there's been some weird, eerie, maybe I would say. Yo, what's up, Salty? Eerie things that you know that kind of are coming together with the recent news with Halo development. So the main thing I want to talk about is the correlations, and again, I'm going to proceed this conversation and just this demonstration as something where, you know, I'm not saying it's going to have the same faith. I'm not saying that Crackdown was a pretty much a mess. The single player wasn't too bad. The multiplayer was a mess. But I'm just trying to... I really want to target this as the management of games. And from the what I'm seeing on Twitter, what I have heard, what I've said myself, it just seems that there's a disconnect with the management of what their consumer wants and where they want to go with it. And this is just a demonstration, because Crackdown was Phil's baby. Phil loved Crackdown franchise. He mentioned it so many times before. So to see that kind of fall what it did, and now seeing Halo What's up, Ice Queen Gaming? We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk, and you make your decision. But again, I'm not saying Halo is Crackdown. I'm not saying Crackdown is Halo. All I'm saying is that there's some eerie ass shit going down in the development in Microsoft Studios. Weird stuff, like just so eerie. And leave it as eerie. You're gonna hear some of the grinds board, and then if I have time. You've heard the waterfall method before, which I've mentioned because I saw the whole thing with PC. Everybody celebrating Sony games are coming there. You want to know what? You can tell your great-grandchildren when you get to play God of War on PC because as of now, I don't believe they're going to go day and date. But never say never. They might. Yo, what's up, Jemiah? And when they do, then PC is the best place for me at least. I'll play everything on one system. Everything there. But I don't think it's going to be that easy. And I'll talk about it a little bit. I've talked about it a bunch of times before about this waterfall approach from David Jaffe. I was trying to find it. That's what took me so long. I know it's in one of Zaire Next Gen. Shout out to Next Gen 720. When he was doing his one-on-ones with David Jaffe, it was in there where David Jaffe described this waterfall method. And it stuck with me because that's exactly Tuesday, all that shit stuff. Let's go. Oh, man. Yeah, and that's another reason. I wanted to get this out here just in case this week is the week when we get console announcements and stuff like that, and I wanted to get this out there before that. So with that, we're going to start right now. Hit that like button as you come in. Share out the video. There's going to be a lot of demonstration, and you want to know what? Maybe enough from me. We'll let the YouTubes do the talking. We'll see. Let's go. Yo, okay, we're back. Oh, man, I see Marcus already in here. He's already celebrating on his computer and his PC. He loves that talk, man. Yep. Hey, I think they'll probably put... you know what I would think? Maybe I'll just talk about the waterfall thing. But my thing is I think a perfect game to go to PC from the PlayStation is Dreams. They just added VR support. I think having the capabilities of a mouse support, using that to develop games in Dreams, and having then the console people play it, similar to how Project Spark was back in the day when Microsoft had that. I think Dreams and the VR capabilities now... that is a game primed for PC, and that's a great thing because that will also benefit the console, because the console players in the Dreams community can then experience games built with fidelity of not using the move controls but using a mouse. I do think that will be my next game to put there. Dreams, boom, beautiful, right on PC, and we'll see how that goes. But I think we all agree, and I know it's joking, but I think we all could agree Sony's method of putting games on PC and Microsoft's method are totally different things. And I know we like to troll and do all that stuff. It's funny. But we know in reality, they're two different things. All right. Microsoft basically took its whole goddamn ecosystem and put it on PC. And not only is this the games. This is the last point. I don't talk about the Halo stuff. But not only the games. This is the difference. Microsoft took PC games and put them day and date. Okay, whatever. They've been putting games on PC all through the 360 and prior to that. They put games on PC. Microsoft did it. Nobody went into a tizzy about it. But what Microsoft did, not only did they put their games day and date, but they actually made the PC platform a better place to play those games.
Who is your daddy?
Oh, yeah. Who is your daddy? Big Daddy Phil made PC a better option. How? Not only did he put his games there day and date, all of them, but your friends list went there. You could communicate, text, call, talk to your friends, all on PC. It wasn't locked to the console. Looking for group, friend invites, all that stuff. And they put it there for free. For free. So they made you even look at Xbox Live and go, wait a second, I'm paying $60 for the ability to play online, but I could do everything on PC for nothing. For the cost of a game that I could use that $60 and buy a game with it. I could do that. And that was my key reason to say, hey, PC might be an option for me, because I was never into PC gaming. Never thought about it. But once they said my friends list and I could communicate with my friends and everything worked the same way. Hell, they even brought the goddamn game bar over. They made it so easy to leave the console and go to PC seamlessly. They did that. Sony, with its Horizon move, they're not looking for people to jump off PlayStation and go to PC gaming. What they're doing, and if you could agree, why would they choose Horizon? Why? They had Uncharted. Where's that? Reason why. No, PC guys don't care about Xbox Live's voice chat. But what I'm saying is that for as an Xbox console gamer, you could go over there on PC and still communicate to your console friends. I'm not saying that PC guys use the Discord and all that other stuff. I'm saying they were not, Microsoft, by putting their games on PC, were not recruiting for the Xbox platform. They weren't recruiting to bring people over to the console. Instead, they were making it easier for people to leave the console and go to PC. I'm case in point. That's what I did. It was easier. That's what they did. They created an exit strategy for a console owner. Sony is not doing that with Horizon, if you want to use that as the latest example, because we don't know what else is coming. And never say never. You know, this is, again, never say never. I'm just going based on what we've seen and what we've been through and what's currently announced. Sony putting Horizon, a game that's been out for 4 years, you could buy it right now for $15. They put that over there because those guys on PC may never buy a PlayStation. So why not just sell them something that maybe they'll buy? In the same instinct, we'll release a sequel to the game, and if they really like that franchise, or they fall in love with the character or whatever like that, maybe they will be considering a PlayStation 5 to buy so that they could play the continuation of that story. That's their approach. Microsoft's approach was totally different. It was to basically they basically took the whole Xbox Live ecosystem and put it on there. Now, PSN, if they put all PlayStation on there and you don't have to pay $60 and I could chat with all my friends and do cross chat and all that other stuff, now they're similar. Now I'll say, okay, well, Sony's doing the same thing. PC is the place to go. So that's the difference between this stuff. Now, if Sony comes out and says, hey, God of War, all our games day and date going to PC, hey, enjoy it, all that stuff, then fine. Then obviously they want people to play on PC, you know? And then you got to make a choice. But Horizon for $40 on PC 4 years later, Microsoft did that with Halo. They did it with Gears. It didn't kill the 360, no. But what they did now kind of made you question, going, well, do I really need an Xbox? And we're seeing that now. Not only are they not demonstrating that with their games coming out and the lack of games with the launch, but now the whole methodology of whether you buy a console or not, or do you build a PC to experience Xbox, it's a valid discussion now. It's something you got to really think about, because you got to say, well, I could do everything and not pay for online. Hell, they're even putting games only on PC. We don't even know the console game dates. Minecraft, what was it? It was Flight Simulator, Gears Tactics, Age of Empires. Like, okay, those games are only on PC. Gears Tactics has controller support. Not that great, but it could, it functions. What's up, Eddie? It functions. And on top of that, they spent a whole year and a half hyping keyboard and mouse support for the Xbox. And you have a game that says, oh, well, it's better with keyboard and mouse support, but you don't release it on the console? After you hyped up, you even sold a $200 Razer accessory for a wireless keyboard and mouse setup for your console? Did they ever update that or fix that so that you could use the dashboard with the mouse and keyboard? Who knows? I never heard anything about it. Age of Empires is a great... Oh, that's a PC game. But you have keyboard and mouse support. You have a $200 accessory. Phil Spencer came on Inside Xbox to hype up keyboard and mouse support. He announced it at XO19. Dude, like, they practically merged the platforms together. Why is there exclusive games on PC? And on top of that, why don't you even have dates for the console? So console gaming is definitely takes a back seat on the Xbox camp to PC. PC is the better place to play Xbox and to experience whatever they got if you think it's worthwhile. It is. You get more games over there. Now, is Sony going to cannibalize their system and say, hey, you know what? Last of Us 2 is going to PC next year. Nah. And people like to use Death Stranding. Death Stranding was announced as a PC PlayStation game when he came out on stage. Don't remember the lights? It was like a goddamn rock star came out. Hey, PC and PlayStation. Okay. And everybody's like, well, what about Xbox? Like, oh, well, we signed a deal with Sony. It was already announced. And that's not their first-party studio. Horizon Zero Dawn is something. Even the baseball, but that is also with a license. But if they strategically put games on PC, Horizon going there does not damage the console because it's not the whole ecosystem. It's not day and date. You don't have to sit there and go, well, wait a second. That's Spider-Man Miles Morales. Do I get it on PC or do I don't? Like, what do I do? But it was announced already as a PC console game. It was already announced. It wasn't like, oh, we got to go put stuff on PC because Microsoft's doing it. So, the thing is, if they do it, fine. But if they do it similar to how Microsoft is doing it, then I think a lot of people would have a problem because they're basically making a different choice there. They're making a different choice where now you go, wait, do I buy it on PC or buy that? Now, if you want to sit around and wait for all this to come around, like, keep playing Counter-Strike, what can I say, and all those other games, because, like, you want to sit and wait and say, I told you so 5 years from now, all right, enjoy yourself. But, like, the thing is, I don't see Sony competing with itself. Microsoft did compete with itself by putting its games on PC because it made it a better option because they put basically the whole UI, everything, the functionality, the services, everything on PC. They basically made the PC a version of their console. Sony just dropped Horizon and Steam. So, yeah. That's what I mean. Sony just said, hey, here you go, Steam. Microsoft took its whole goddamn interface, UI, and services, made them free, and put them over there. So when Sony does that, then we got a problem. Then it's like, you know what? Who needs a PlayStation? Then go get a PC and play everything, and then you're done. So right now, we'll see, and I'm sure they'll do it. And I've said this before with the waterfall method. By doing this, and I don't know, I haven't played Horizon on PC, but like I guess the port is fixed because I know that it wasn't that great. For the gloriousness of 2080 Ti's and stuff, it was still having issues. So it wasn't optimized, but I guess they fixed it. I don't know. But my thing is that by having the game release on the console, then having it ported over to the PC later on, it gives the ability for them to target the hardware and release it accordingly and maximize the potential of each level of distribution. Same thing with putting it in PlayStation Now. It basically meets each level. Instead of taking it all and putting it in one bucket and say, hey, I want all these games to be released in a service, all on PC, all on our consoles, optimized for everything, go. Day one. Instead, they can maximize the potential of the PlayStation. Then, when they're done, they drop it on sale. Then, you get the people at a lower sale price. After that, you drop it again. You put it as a greatest hit. You put it on sale for $15, $10. All right, put it on sale at the retailers. Greatest hits, $25. Good job. Add some DLC, make a Game of the Year edition. Fine. All right, you maximize that. Now, put it in PlayStation Now. Keep it in there for 3 months. People will play it in there. The subscribers will play it on that end. Maybe put it on PSN. There you go. Put it in the network, PS Plus. Fine. After all that done, been on sale for $10, $15. Then you go, hey, okay, while I'm doing that, you guys work on a PC version. Ship it. Now you charge them $40 on PC. They pay for the frames. Boom. Now they get that. And while you're doing that, make a sequel to that game and put it only on this console. So if we could get those people to bite, we could fish those PC dudes. Maybe we'll get some of those guys to maybe be interested in getting a PlayStation 5. When they had no inclination of moving over to console at all, maybe a game like God of War, a game like that, maybe they move over. Maybe they consider buying a PlayStation to throw in their rec room. I don't know. Or put it next to their PC and stream. Who knows? But they're fishing. That's what they're doing. They're fishing. They're not telling the console gamer, yo, go check out PC. It's better over there. You don't have to pay for any of these services. You go over there and you could play all games in any resolution you want. Nah. You know your friends list, they come with you. You know that game bar when you hit that button and you get that flap over and you get to see all the stuff? That goes with you too. And guess what? We're putting games just over there. You should go check them out. Yeah, when Sony does that, we'll talk. But what I just described was a method that they get to maximize each thing. Just like why Frozen 2 wasn't in Disney Plus day one. Why wasn't it? Because they know it will sell. And that's going to be the real indicator. If they see drops in sales, these games are not selling 4 million, 3 million, 5 million in 3 days. This is why, like, they know that will sell. And once they start seeing these games not sell the big numbers that they're selling, they'll do that. And also, too, I do think that they'll have games that they'll make or somebody will make. They'll just go right into PlayStation Now. A game just made for that. Or they may have a game that they just go put right on, make it cross-platform. I don't know, put it on PC and PlayStation 5 day one because you want the cross-play. I don't know. But the difference is that it's calculated. It's thought out. And the game will be built for the distribution and platform that it's going on. It's targeted. Targeted. The last analogy I'll leave with you with this whole waterfall method, which I went into reverse, but I want to talk about it. The last analogy I'll leave you with, it's like fishing. You got a Sony fisher, you got a Microsoft fisher. The Sony fisher says, wait a second. Now, I'm not a big fisher, so I don't know exactly bait, so excuse me on this one. There's a pickerel, like a fish out there. There's a friggin' sunny fish, and I know it likes this type of worm. All right. Give me this type of worm, and I'm going to throw it out there. And I'm going to catch that fish because I know what that fish likes to eat. That's the Sony fisher. It knows it's targeted. It knows what it's targeting for, so it will prepare its line and its bait accordingly to grab that fish. Microsoft, on the other hand, is rolling around with a fishing lure, doesn't have bait on it at all, swinging it around, woo, throwing this shit baitless into an ocean, into a lake, and they keep pulling it, hoping that they'll grab a fish out of there. Who do you think is going to get a fish? Who's going to have a better fishing experience? That's probably it.
Don't do that.
Who's going to have a better fishing experience? The Sony fisher who actually has put the proper bait on the line and knows what that fish wants? Or the Microsoft fisher, which is just haphazardly just throwing a line with no bait on it, an empty hook, and just throwing it into a lake. And they're randomly just pulling things, thinking they can pull, like, oh, well, I'll get a fish someday. Microsoft's firing with blanks. They're selling services without compelling content. They're selling consoles without a launch lineup, without a Halo, which they promised 2 years ago. Last year, comes on stage, E3 looks right in the camera and says Halo will launch with the Xbox One. Series X, I mean. Right at the camera. Oh, we're making next-gen consoles. 2 years ago, he's talked about next-gen consoles. One guy's fishing. He's throwing his games out there. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Put that cookie down now!
Throwing his games out there. Anybody play our games. Steam, Microsoft Store, phones. Anybody, please.
We're really focusing first on what it means to play these games on your phone. So when we thought about how can we get as many people playing on a phone as possible.
Anybody play. Catch a fish. Anybody out there. Sony's like, PlayStation 5 SSD, targeting, boom, ray tracing, boom, this, graphics, boom, capabilities of the console, boom, bait that line, bzz, boop. Got him. 5 million sales, boom, got him. Oh, wait, what? Oh, wait, we want to sell more? The sales are dying off? Hold on. Take the sale, all right. What was the game, $60? Okay, I'll make it there. 20% off sale. Best Buy, put it on sale. Boom, 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 pair up the line. All right. Buzz. Got him. Holiday sales. We got him. That's Sony. Moving, calculating, knowing what's going. Oh, what? Wait a second. There's people on PC that don't like a console? Hold on. We got an IP. Get Horizon over here. Get over here. Put it. There we go. Put it on the line. Okay. Got him. All right, good. Bzzz. Gotcha. 200,000. Boom. Gotcha. Bzzz. Thank you. Oh, and maybe those people would want to buy that. See, it's targeted. It's target practice with targets. Microsoft shooting blanks with no targets. There's your analogy. Let's move on. With that, now we come to the meat and potatoes of what Grind My Gear. Shout out to the 37 watching. Hit that like button, share it out. We're going to go into the deep. After 20 minutes of talking about waterfalls. Now we're going to talk about Test Halo. All right. Hit me with the horns, 20. Remember, never say never. Just going based on what I see and what's going on right now. And like I said before, I'm not saying this one Crackdown is Halo, Halo is Crackdown, this and anything. I'm not saying the same thing is going to happen. So haters, back off. But you got to blink an eye to go, this is a little eerie ass shit. So with that, we're going to start at the beginning. At the beginning. Here we go. The flow. The boom. We're going to go back. Crackdown. We've seen this before, so I won't spend too much time on how the tech of the cloud, the game, and shout out to Forte on the Crossfire, because I did bring this up on Salty's podcast, how, Crackdown was a victim of the tech, of the cloud. Hence, surprised why the reason why they kept pushing it, even though they canceled other games, they kept pushing it, right? Well, Halo seems to be another victim of the tech of proving this whole crush generation and all this other stuff that basically they're trying to prove that this whole scalability thing works and this engine works on everything. Yeah. Terry Crews not in this yet. But yeah, this is the demo of Crackdown Destruction, right? We've seen this before. This is the tech. 2015 Gamescom, right? The timeline's a little you got to keep a little rough, but look, here we go. You've seen this. Buildings coming down. Everything breaks. The destruction stays. They're not just VR little things, but this was the demo of Crackdown and the destruction. And then they're showing the different colors of how each of these buildings worked with a different console in the cloud. And we're going to skip through, just show you, like, we know what Crackdown 3 multiplayer looks like, right? Yeah. So, what I'm trying to show is the timeline. You got to look at the timelines. Remember? So, Crackdown was shown with the tech. Looked impressive. Everybody was hyped. Wow, look at this. Look at the destruction in Crackdown. And then this is the part that I want to show where they are, the bridge comes down. And, yeah, when did they pull? They pull one building falls on another. Amazing. Look at all the debris. Look, it stayed. He's running around in debris. It is crazy. Look at all the debris staying here. It didn't disappear. It actually looks like buildings and not just VR things. He shoots this thing in the distance. That don't break. But, like, this is the demo of this stuff, right? Things flying all over it. Looks incredible, right? So now we come to how Halo was first shown. How was Halo first shown? Halo was first shown like this. The tech. The demonstration of the slip space engine. Halo was shown. This was Halo. Was it? They had animals running around. And I've done this before in my previous video, actually, when I was showing that. But, like, yeah. I don't know why it's buffering so much. It's like Lion King. But again, showing the tech. All captured with game engine and all this other stuff. Let's get back. And I've done the comparison between these two because, 343 did allude to this. Going, you saw this and nobody complained. Look at these trees. Look at this stuff. We know what Halo Infinite looks like. It was awesome. Didn't look like this. But again, this is a demonstration of the slip space engine. All built within engine or whatever the hell it was, right? Because I think it says it here. What does it say here? Game engine demonstration. The tech. Right? That's what I wanted, right? That's what we wanted. So Crackdown was both shown with the tech in mind. The slip space engine and the destruction engine in Crackdown. Well, let's go now through Crackdown's story. So what happens with Crackdown? We see this demonstration. Now the Crackdown single player gets shown. Do you recall when the Crackdown single player got shown in 2017? Yeah. Guys, I hope you have tissues next to you because this is going to get shitty.
Get Halo and start playing.
This is all happening on the set of Firefly.
This is cringe.
He's the one, and then he and I, he taught me.
This is cringe.
And we formed a team and took on
This is where they went to San Diego Comic-Con and demonstrated Crackdown 3 multiplayer. And if you don't remember, the feedback that they got from this show was horrible. They were like, this is disgraceful. Why you have celebrities playing the game that don't know how to play it? The game doesn't look like the destruction. Where's the destruction? What's going on? Major Nelson tried his best in his flower shirts to try to save the day. This guy does not know how to play. Let's listen in.
I did play Halo all the way through 4, and then I went to... Nathan still plays with this group that I used to... What? All right. Nathan, I was like, I need to get back with the guys again and play. And I went to buy the game, Halo 5, I guess it is. Yep. And I realized that I'm one game system behind.
Yeah, you're a generation behind.
And I was like, oh, jeez, man, I've been so out of it.
Right.
Oh,
I've
man.
missed.
What about little Timmy? He's little Timmy. He basically he didn't realize that Halo 5 was just a next-gen exclusive. Oh my god. Major Nelson, so anti-consumer. The guy wanted to play Halo 5 and didn't realize that it was on a new console generation. Man, so anti-consumer.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
God damn. That's not even the point of this video, but whatever.
There you go.
All right.
Destruction time.
Who am I supposed to be fighting, though? It's just all these sad people?
So this Crackdown is all about destruction.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I haven't
Destruction.
destroyed anybody.
You can pick things up. You can just right now.
Look at
I
the
don't know what level agent we are
destruction.
here. Looks like
Leveling.
But
It's
you
all
can
about
drive
destruction.
all over the
Nothing's
city.
gonna destroy.
Imagine you've all, of course, you played Grand Theft Auto GTA, open world game.
I never did.
Well, this is open world.
I mean, I know what it is.
Yeah. So this open world Crackdown, great game. Tell me about what you're working on now.
I'm doing Dirk Gently's holistic detective. Oh boy.
This is just one of
This is me.
5
I'm like
of these
running
videos
to
where
the
they
room.
demonstrate.
Remember
This is the
earlier
demonstration
you
of
said, I don't know,
Crackdown
now you-
single
you-
player.
you
This is
got
how
that
they
answer
just
to you
showed,
right now.
decided to show it at San Diego Comic-Con with a
How
bunch
do I
of
just
celebrities.
Melee this guy.
You should be able to just do a little B or look on the right stick. So right now we're playing this. Obviously, this is only on Xbox, and you are all.
There's a lot of guys out there who know how to play this game going, God, this guy sucks. I wish I was playing it.
I can't
And he's
believe
over,
I have this guy down here. I want to play it.
Yeah, he's over here. He doesn't even. He'd pick up the thing. They're saying, throw it at the guy. You threw it the wrong way.
Shoot them.
Melee. Oh.
So now you might want to get out of there so your health can regen. But I was trying to. Janine and I were talking about the. This,
Oh, I can swim?
Oh yeah. You're super Asian.
I'm super.
This
Asian.
is how
Super
their
Asian.
marketing
Oh,
thought was a good
cool.
idea to
Got it.
show the game Crackdown single
We're
player,
talking about
right?
this. How's Comic-Con been for you? Let's talk about that.
Comic-Con's been
Let's
great.
go talk about Comic-Con
I have a
because
show called
you're just
Con Man
swimming in
that,
water.
We just got nominated for Emmys.
You got
It's all about
Emmys.
physics.
Wait, here we go. Watch
Cop.
this.
Am I a cop? Because I want to
You work
issue
for the
some
agency.
I want to issue some citations here.
Yeah.
First of all, you can't. Oh, this is way illegal.
God,
I
fucking
mean,
another gun.
So this game, it's all about physics. So you're gonna
It's
see
all
things
about
in this
physics.
game that act and react according to what we understand to be physics here on.
What we have the yo, Major
Things in
Nelson.
this game that-
This is freaking hilarious. We basically got like doggy style cars going on right here, and Major Nelson's like, it's all about physics.
Citations here.
Yeah.
First of all, you can't. Oh, this is way illegal. I mean,
that shouldn't happen. So this game, it's all about physics. So you're gonna see things in this game that act and react according to what we understand to be physics here on Earth.
On Earth. Damn it. Like I said, we'll let the YouTube do the talking. Wait a second. Now, watch how Major Nelson describes a demonstration of destruction. Remember, watch.
physics.
Yeah, you can see all the physics. So now you're back into the hot zone again. But I love the fact here. You look. So destructibility. We saw some of that.
Wait a second. Did I miss that? Did you see the shield? This is what he's describing as destructibility.
Yeah, you can see all the physics. So now you're back into the hot zone again. But I love the fact here. You look. So destructibility. We saw some of that. Well, congratulations on the Emmy nod. That's really.
Dude, mind you, the video I showed you before with the goddamn buildings coming down and the cloud and all this stuff. Meanwhile, one of these little shields blows up and he's like, there's a demonstration of destructibility.
You look. So destructibility. We saw some back into the hot zone again.
Wait,
See all the physics.
you saw what I saw before.
Hot zone again. But I love the fact here. You look. So destructibility. We saw some of that.
Oh, there's some destructibility. Thanks, Major Nelson. Thanks. It's all about destructibility. Thanks, Major Nelson. You saw the shield break. It's all about destructibility. I mean, holy shows the goddamn. Oh man, he's like, there you go, destructibility.
On the Emmy nod, that's really exciting.
Thanks, man.
And really, we know Crackdown was a disaster.
Water.
But the thing is,
tad green.
yeah, thanks, Major Nelson.
You know, maybe
so
it's that,
the thing is like this was the demonstration of their that first party campaign, right? It received horrible feedback because this is just one of 5. They had the girls yelling at each other. That was another one.
Shield is critical. Shield is critical.
This is just the one of them.
So, you know, the big question.
People were upset. They're like, excuse me, why the hell would you make people that don't know how to play the game play the game? And why do you think this is an effective way of showing
Not so much.
your games? Where's your appreciation?
Firefly's badass. You know, we got canceled really quickly.
Right.
And
but the internet wants it back, and the internet tends to get what it wants.
pretty cool.
Yeah, and that gets what they want, right?
Major Nelson. At one point, I was on a panel at a con.
Look at these people. Now this is before, so this is so.
I get him there.
So
finally, I killed.
He got him.
Oh, now you picked him up.
Yeah, there
As
we
if
go.
he's not dead enough. He's even.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I think that's my own.
Oh.
You get the point.
Wow, I didn't know I could do this. Wow. Great shoot. Let me just use
Now
my
guess who
gun.
comes on around this time? This was in
Just kidding,
June,
we're down here
just a month
Entertainment
before
Weekly.
this. Right? Just a month before this. Look who comes on. Ooh, does this seem familiar? After that disgrace, Joseph Staten comes on. Got to do a little crackdown writing yesterday and off to visit the dev team in the UK. It's been fine few day, agents. It's going to be great. Super fun. The devs have really nailed the classic crackdown feel. He's talking about this.
Party here at Comic-Con in San Diego. We're having a little bit of fun with that. We're playing some Crackdown 3.
Playing Crackdown.
Crackdown 3.
Crackdown 3. This is so much better than Crackdown 2.
It's one better.
It's one better. I never played Crackdown 2. So Nathan Fillion still plays. I can tell you that right
He
now.
never played
And,
Crackdown 2. He's talking about Nick DeFillion still plays games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's.
So, what did the internet do? What did the internet do? Phil, that was disgraceful, Phil. It was a meme. Shout out to Tim Dog. He's like, yo, where's the multiplayer? We saw that trash. And Phil goes, Crackdown will be at Gamescom, and we'll show you more there. Yes, I saw that San Diego Comic-Con stream. We'll make sure we have a good demo. Oh, so you showed the game, it got the feedback, and you promised that, like, it's okay. Okay, thanks, Phil. So this is what happened, Crackdown. Joseph Staten's on it now. You see how eerie. Yes, downvoted. Yeah, it was downvoted. But you see the eeriness to this thing. Okay. So let's see what happened, because we asked for the multiplayer. Remember, Halo didn't show its multiplayer. We're like, wait a second, you're just showing the single player campaign. Where's the multiplayer? And they're like, oh, we'll talk about that at a later time. But then what happened? Did we see Crackdown multiplayer? This is in 2017. Joseph Staten just came on. Did we see multiplayer? Let's see. Oh. Guys. A month after it was shown at San Diego Comic-Con, they come out and delay Crackdown 3 from 2017 to 2018. Never showed the multiplayer. They delayed it. Joseph Staten was on this. He just came on this year. They showed the game. It had a negative response. They didn't show multiplayer, which that was what people wanted to see too. They promised to come at Gamescom, and right before, he delays it. 2017. And look at this. Who's this guy? Who this guy? Hey, Grinds My Gears of 2017. What did you have to say about it? Actually, shout out to Supersonic Station. He says, we asked you why you didn't show Crackdown 3 multiplayer at E3 and at Comic-Con. You said wait until Gamescom. What, last month? What? Phil Shady. Mr. Grinds My Gears. Hey, how you doing, Grinds? It's been 3 years. Anything I'm from the future. Let me tell you, nothing has fucking changed. Enjoy the next 3 years. Sorry, I had to talk to my old self. I had to talk to myself. So what I wrote was June 2017, show live gameplay Crackdown after 3 years, announcing a release date of November 7th. July 2017, poor showing of the game. August 2017, delays game. And remember what I said about Halo? The fact that they didn't give us a season? Well, Grinds My Gears. Who is this guy? I like this guy. You should follow him. You should subscribe to his YouTube channel. Who is this guy? He's talking some real shit right here. This guy. I don't like we went from a date this year, hint Halo, to a season next year. We actually had a season last year. We had a season with Crackdown. Didn't mean shit, but we had a season. We went from a date this year to a season next year. Makes me think they don't even know when the game will be ready. Holy Jesus. Who is this guy? 2017 Grinds My Gears. Wow. Well, what happened? Did the game come out in 2017? No, it didn't. It got delayed to 2018. Well, what happened? Well, wait a second. Wow. So, it went from on August 16, 2017, they moved the release date to 2018. Now, remember, 2017, Crackdown with that year was lined up to launch with the Xbox One X. That Chris game, after that showing with Andy Tudyk and stuff like that, that game was going to be multiplayer at Gamescom and release on November 7th. With the Xbox One X. Halo showed with a tech demo, showed the gameplay. Now, I found the other one. Crackdown did have a game, not a gameplay demo, but a cinematic. Crackdown had one of those. But then in a second, my thing is that you showed it to the public. It got negative feedback. You didn't show the complete game. You waited on campaign. Joseph Staten came on to fix it or to do whatever he does. Then after a month of showing it to the public and negative feedback, just a month later, you delay the game. What? Same months, July to August.
You bastards! You vicious, heartless bastards!
Negative feedback from the response of the demo that was shown. You throw Joseph Staten at the problem, and then you delay the game without showing the multiplayer to the next year. That's some eerie-ass shit. And promised we'll see a good demo. Delayed. Crackdown delayed to 2018. It went from November 7th, 2017. Halo went from November whatever, 2020, to sometime in 2021. At least Crackdown had a spring 2018, but it didn't matter. Because it got delayed out of 2018. Again, because then in 2018, they introduced Terry Crews and delayed it. So, I see where some people are going. I'm not telling you, but I'm just going to say this. Oh, yes. I forgot. Totally. Yeah. Rest in peace to Charlotte. Yo, that was just, that was just, oh, man, I forgot to say that because I wanted to say in the beginning because that was just amazing. My son loves Black Panther, and, I had to tell him, and he was, like, totally devastated about it. But rest in peace, man. That was just horrible. I hate to bring that in the middle of the thing I wanted to say in the beginning, but, yeah, I was fine as research stuff, but yeah, that's some real shit. That is horrible, and God bless him. And it was horrible. that he did those movies in that condition, and he powered through that and didn't let anybody know, and just just took it all on himself, and it's just wow. Yeah, that was really sad. That was really sad, man. Sorry to bring it down, but yeah. But back to what I was trying to say with the thing with this is that, it's really eerie about the two things that we're seeing here. Like, you show what you think is what the people like. Again, who greenlit Major Nelson to play this game in San Diego Comic-Con and thought that was the best, right? Who greenlit Halo Infinite to show the way it showed? Right? And look, Joseph Staten comes back. He just came off of Crackdown 3, and he was working on the other game, that other one. But it's just so weird, the parallels here, where the negative pushback of the public demonstration, which was horrible, showing again that they really don't know who their audience is or how it's going to be received, becomes a meme. And they piecemeal it again, not showing the full game and its capability, saying multiplayer comes later, and then basically throw Joseph Staten at it and then delay it again. Now, we're in part one of the delay. If they come out next year and they delay it to 2022, we're going to come back to this video and go, oh my God, then it really is Crackdown, because that's what Crackdown did. Crackdown got pushed out to 2018, so that's the part that we're in right now. We're over here. If you want to talk about where the Halo timeline is, we just got to hope that they don't come back next year and go, you know what? We reworked Halo and we're going to release it in 2022. Then we're in this part of it. Right now, we're here. At least you had a season. We don't have a season yet, so who knows? People are saying 2022. Who knows? But it's just so weird. And is it a victim of the tech? I don't know. Like, it just seems like, you show this thing. And this is the other thing that's eerie about it. Just going into Halo. And I point to this article here that after that meme and after that stuff that went down, 343 came out in July 30th, 2020, and doubled down on like why the game looked the way it did, saying, we're returning to a classic style, which was the key message going back, and that garnered enthusiastic and positive responses. Of course, because you show this. Of course this gained positive responses. If the game looked like this, I don't think you would be in the situation that you're in. Look how this game looked. Oh, well, it was positive responses when we showed this look. Why are you complaining? This is what they were saying. The very first reveal that garnered enthusiastic and positive responses. This translates into a more vibrant palette. Cleaner models. They call them cleaner. We're talking no textures, but they say they're cleaner. Objects with less noise, though it doesn't mean less detail. While we appreciate this may not be everyone's personal preference, we stand by this decision and are happy to see it resonating with so many fans around the world. They were not saying this game is delayed. This game was showed a week or two before this. They doubled down. This was the end of July. Just to know that just a mere 2 weeks later, on August 11th, they would delay it indefinitely. We don't even know. But they came out here and doubled down. Here we go. The second theme is visual fidelity. Negative feedback in this area. And I went through this whole thing comparing the two in my video about when this came out. But what I'm using is saying, like, they doubled down on what Halo, that meme was. Like, Crackdown didn't even get that. Crackdown's Sumo Digital never came out and defended Crackdown. They came out and defended Halo after that meme. We've seen homemade examples of retouched content, and yes, we've heard Digital Foundry's assessments. In many ways, we're in agreement. We do have to work on address some of these areas and raise the level of fidelity and overall presentation for the final game. The build used to run the campaign demo. This is where we found out that it was several weeks old, not several months old. While some of the feedback was expected and speaks to the areas already in progress, other aspects of feedback have brought new opportunities and considerations to light that the team has taken seriously. We don't have firm answers and outcomes as quickly as possible on plans to address some of the feedback around the detailed clarity and fidelity. The team is committed on this. Because look what they say. We say, hey, what about Craig? Will the game be a multiplayer? Like we heard your 4K 60. How's Craig? We've all laughed very hard at the nonstop stream of Craig memes, and the community is cranking out. Craig is thick-skinned and seems to be taking it in stride, though all of his fame and attention seems to be going to his head.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time.
Like, they doubled down on this. On top of that, here he is. The man, the myth, the legend. Let's see what he has to say about Halo Infinite after it was just shown on July 24th. Remember, it got delayed on August 11th. Listen.
Whenever that announcement comes, we'll be ready, waiting. But as far as like the campaign goes, I mean, what are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, the multiplayer in Halo Infinite, I think, is going to be special when we talk about it. It's such a big game when you think about all the work that goes into the single player campaign, to the community features, to multiplayer. But we know for so many people, Halo CE started with us lugging our Xboxes around, plugging them in together, and playing console multiplayer for many of us the first time. So I'm excited about what we'll get to see and what we'll get to show. I think the team's building on what they did with Halo 5, and the multiplayer in Halo 5 was received very well. So it's cool to kind of see the team continue to iterate on things that the community loves. The esport players have been heavily involved in what we're doing because we know that's a strong part of the community, the professional players. And there's some kind of technical challenges the team has set for themselves on multiplayer that I'm really encouraged to be able to talk about when we get there. So soon, we will be able to talk about Halo multiplayer soon. But Bonnie and the team are doing a really good job with Halo, and it's nice. It's been a long time, 19 years since we had a Halo at the launch of an Xbox.
Oh my gosh, that's really crazy.
So
oh my gosh.
2001, original Xbox and Halo CE.
Wow.
So this is like a seminal moment for us. These are chocolate and peanut butter coming
That's
together.
incredible.
Like, it's going to be a special time when we're able to launch Halo on the next console.
I mean, I feel like you're in such a unique position because you've been with Microsoft for so long. So, I mean, how exciting is this, though, for you to sort of see all of this just happen in a lifetime? Like, it's really incredible.
Yeah, I went back. So I was there at the original Xbox, launch of 360, Xbox One. And there are a lot of team members on Xbox that haven't been around as long as I have. And I really push the team to embrace it and to kind of, it's one of those career accomplishments and frankly life accomplishments that it's easy to kind of just fly right through. But you've been around console launches before. There's something special about that. I went back and I watched some of the video from 0 Hour, if you remember that, on 360 when we went out in the desert and brought a bunch of people in. And it's just such a special time for the community and the team. So I get excited. I was nervous today, which I thought was funny because the whole thing was recorded, so like I couldn't really mess anything up. But it's nice to get the kind of energy flowing and just to feel the fan energy. The kind of viewership today was amazing. And this is going to be great. This is kind of what it's all about. It's just celebrating with fans, love of video games, launching a new Xbox, launching some great games, and getting to talk to people who really care about it. So I appreciate the opportunity for that.
You guys
embrace it, and kind of, it's one of those career accomplishments. And
gosh.
Well, I guess this holiday we're just getting the chocolate, no peanut butter.
Halo CE started with cool to kind of.
Gosh.
So he says we're getting the chocolate and peanut butter, Halo on the console. Well, I guess it didn't happen. But again, this is right after the show on July 24th. On July 30th, they doubled down on the vision, and when will we get a chance to play that demo? And yes, so you'll take out the banished anti-aircraft turrets. Is there a battle rifle? I remember pulling this out and going like this, like they will not have the weapons, like compared to the weapon closest to the Halo version. They're talking about going back to a classic feel, and meanwhile, they're not including the classic guns. The Bulldog is a pump action rifle. There are additional variants of these, but the classic Magnum and tactical shotgun aren't in Halo Infinite. Meanwhile, they doubled down and saying we're going back to a classic look. If you're going to appeal to the classic people, then why are you taking out the classic goddamn weapons? And then on top of that, they go, as we look beyond launch, we have plans to evolve the game. Game Pass.
I'd buy that for $1.
And we'll continue to add additions to the Infinite Sandbox. We understand some players won't be thrilled over the prospects of different pistols and shotguns, but we encourage you to keep an open mind, and we look forward to everyone getting their hands on perspective with these new weapons. They knew they would piss off people. They took out classic weapons. Meanwhile, they're saying, well, you like the classic look. What the hell? I broke this down in my other video. This was crazy. This was before we even knew this game was getting delayed. But this shit did not sound good. Not at all. So they doubled down. Phil doubled down. Look at Phil. He was happy at what they shown. He was confident. Now, yeah, he's not going to say it looked like shit, but he knew. He proved this stuff. So when people go, Phil, he's not to blame. Goddamn guy, 19 years. He saw launches of all the consoles. If there's anyone to know what the hell a game looks like or what's wrong with the game, it's got to be him. He's there the longest. People have come and gone. He's been there. He's seen everything. He should have a plethora of knowledge to know what the gamer wants, what is successful, what sells, what moves consoles, what gamers want to see, what they want to play, how they want to interact. He should know all this stuff. 19 goddamn years. He wasn't pulled out of the pluck strings of a business. He lived there for 19 years. He saw all aspects of game development. He ran the studios. Before he, like, if you cannot say, if Xbox is out of touch, who's to blame? It's him. There's nobody else. Satya is newer than Phil. Satya was working in cloud stuff with Balmer. Back then, he was somewhere different. Phil was on the gaming for the whole time. So the fact that these got approved and shown, and the feedback, Crackdown 3 getting shown like that, Halo Infinite getting shown like that, these are your franchises. These are the things that your competition in Sony and Nintendo celebrate and revere and hold close to their heart and make sure they don't get abused or get shown misconstrued. Nintendo crashes down people that try to make passion projects about Mario and Luigi. No, we're not having Mario look like that. That's not our version. And now we got Joseph Staten here. The guy who wrote the original Halo stories went to Destiny, left there, came to Microsoft in 2014. And this is the kind of detail. We really don't know what he's going to do. Will he save Halo? Who knows? We'll be returning home to Halo for a bit. They're also throwing somebody from the Master Chief Collection, Halo Infinite team, as a project lead for the free-to-play multiplayer experience. Why are they throwing heads, project leads? Why are they putting heads on the snake? Like you put a leader in now? It's no, yeah, right, Gon. Like, I don't know what he's going to do. First off, if he had such experience with Halo, why wouldn't he be there like 2 years ago? 3 years ago? I think, and my way of thinking is, I think that this is a PR stunt. I'm sure he'll contribute in some way, but I really think just trying to throw Joseph Staten's name and Halo together in the same sentence, I think is sort of like a patch to fix something. Like, oh, you know what? Let's just try. People don't think well of 343. There's been negative media going around about our development studio and that we're not capable. There's management issues. There's things fluttering around. You know what? Put a somebody who's celebrated. Put somebody who brings back the old feeling, the goodness, the nostalgia. Hell of a drug, as Mooch says. Like, it's a hell of a drug, Staten and Halo, put them together again in a sentence. PR move. Yeah, he's going to do a little stuff. We don't have to detail what he's going to do, but the fact that he's in the same sentence as Halo maybe it bides some confidence in the outside. Because there's so much negative stuff going on about our studio and Chris Lee and Bonnie Ross. No, and again, we don't know. But I think it was a little bit of a PR move to kind of put his name in the same sentence as Halo. And maybe he'll help out with the story. Maybe there was some issues, but they're throwing a lot of things. They just had Creative Assembly just basically said, hey, we're working again with them. Reinstitute that they're still working with them. Yeah, maybe, Mod. Maybe he has to wrestle with them. I don't know. But it is definitely an eerie thing. Yo, my goodness, I just came back to the thing. 63 watching grinders. Double bang again. Hey, hit that like button. Let's get those likes up to 50. Thank you very much. My goodness. Ow, I got to stand up a little bit. Damn. But, the thing is again, I'm not saying that Halo is going to turn... Why am I watching Gamescom? Gamescom is goddamn garbage. I'm not watching that. That put me to sleep 3 hours. That Jeff Keighley was putting us to sleep. But, yo, what's up, Raphael? How you doing? So, I don't know. But it's just eerie that Crackdown has a similar kind of process. That doesn't happen too often unless there's issues with the management. Right? Unless there's issues with Mr. A1 Phil Ness Spencer. Maybe there's something going on with his oversight or Matt Booty's oversight. It just is really strange. They're kind of this whole thing. And the thing that I really want to hone in on is the fact that they showed the game to the public. It got negative feedback, and then they delayed it. But they also didn't show the game in its entirety. They didn't show the multiplayer. Again, the multiplayer was this fragmented piece from the single player. People want to see the whole package. But who approved to have your big franchises shown? I could see... I could see, Grounded showing like that, or a game that you're just trying out, Bleeding Edge. Even those games weren't shown, but the fact that you're gonna show Crackdown, who's Phil's favorite franchise, and Halo, the most successful franchise, and approve that and get that. I think the one good thing is that at least they're listening to the feedback and not launching it the way it was. But then you could say Crackdown. Did it launch in the best state? You couldn't have party invites. The multiplayer was 3 maps. That was the big thing with the cloud that they demoed first. He says that the multiplayer in Halo is going to have esports. Okay, esports in mind. Okay. What about the console owner? What about even the PC gamer? What about the gamer? Stop with all this PR bullshit. Esports community is helping us develop this. Stop. Why does it have to be everything but? And that's what grinds my gears about everything. That's why I get so triggered, because it just seems when it comes to this brand, it is everything but what matters. It's the T-flops, it's the console, it's the power, it's the versions, it's the price, it's Xbox All Access, it's about PC, it's about phones, it's about streaming, it's about xCloud, it's about Game Pass, it's about subscriptions, it's about all this other stuff. But when it comes down to the games, the content, the thing that brings people to your platform, wherever it may be, you fall on your face. You have to apologize for the lack of gameplay. You have to come out and create Halo as a meme, as a joke. I even said that Crackdown looked like a joke. It was a joke. that's the thing. Like, it showed this, like, it made these games that should be taken seriously and made them into internet fodder to laugh at. You know?
Let Mortal Kombat begin!
And the competition is not letting up. And these things became memes. And it's like, you know.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you, I make you laugh. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
And that's it. I don't want to hear nothing else.
Make Enemy Great Again says, 5-5. It says, do you see in Gamescom when their talk rich shit devs with Jeff took on I don't know what the hell he's saying. Sorry, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'll give you the Phil Spencer.
Humna.
Hey, if you don't like Last of Us 2, you don't like Last of Us 2. But, you know, that's everybody's opinion. The thing is that these games like Crackdown, like Halo are shown, and it is overwhelming as to the negativity from fans and boys, haters, and all that other stuff. It just comes together, and even from the media. They said, we heard Digital Foundry. Digital Foundry was the one saying delay the game. That was the first time I heard it. Was like, delay this game, it's not ready. I said it looked rushed. But Digital Foundry was the one who basically came out and said, they should delay this. This has to be delayed. They had to wait for Digital Foundry to tell them that nobody saw that and said, yo, this is not ready for prime time. You know? But the thing is that Halo Infinite development looks like a Crackdown 3, which is really interesting. You know, and these correlations. As soon as I saw Joseph Staten jumped on him, I'm like, wait a second. They threw him onto Crackdown when it was an issue. And I was like, let me go back. And I looked at the timeline. I was like, wow. It's eerie. And again, I'm not saying that Halo is Crackdown, but I'm just saying that there's management issues there. And again, you're dropping a console. This is not the time to do this. And again, they did it with the Xbox One X. The Xbox One X did not launch with a substantial game because Crackdown was delayed. You could say Crackdown wasn't substantial, but it was a game that they tied into the launch of the Xbox One X, or the Xbox One X, and it didn't, and they wound up a Lucky's Tales. We're sitting here now on the eaves of Xbox Series X, the next console. Halo was announced last year to launch with it. This wasn't just this year. Last year, and now it got delayed, and now everybody's saying, well, what am I going to play on the Series X? Again, they just made the same mistake in 2017. 3 years later, the same thing. You know, Sony had that revered celebration at E3 because they launched a $600 console and then they said $400 when Microsoft said $500. People were like, oh, they listened, they learned. You have Xbox launching a $500 console. Phil Spencer took that camera out of the box, made it $400 6 months after, and then thought it was a great idea in 2017 to launch another console at $500 again. I don't give a shit how powerful that is. You learned your lesson. You took that $500 camera and put in $400. 6 months later, that Xbox One. Why the hell do you think announcing on stage a $500 console again was something that was going to be celebrated? The X should have been $400. That would have made some moves. It just doesn't show. They say they're transparent, but I think they're blind. They're transparent in telling you the bullshit, but they're blind in knowing what we want. I want great games to play. I don't want compromised games. I don't want delays. Halo, I was going to buy Halo. That was the same. Do you remember? The last thing I'll leave you with. Do you remember the hype for Halo gameplay? The hype for Halo to be shown. That was the July show, was Halo. This is it. Remember? This is it. This is make or break time. This is make or break time. Hit that like button if you remember. That July show was make or break time, because when they had that horrible May show, it was like, well, that's their third-party deals. That's not their first-party. We are waiting for what their first-party studios are going to make. That's July. That is the show. Make or break. Let's go, Microsoft. Slap Sony in the face. Show them what we've been waiting for. It's going to be Halo. Halo gameplay is coming. Halo, here goes Master Chief. You remember him. He's coming. We're going to slap Sony across the goddamn face with Halo and what our first-party studios have been working on that I bought 2 years ago. Let's go. Game time, July. We let you go in June. We're coming in July with our games. July was make or break. That was what we were waiting for. And what happened? July came and went, their show. And their show was only gameplay of Halo, which became a meme and was like, ugh. Some people liked it, but it was a meme. It was a joke. It wasn't the Halo everybody wanted to see. I was already disappointed when they said they weren't going to show the multiplayer. I'm like, we waited so long. Show it all. What are you waiting for? And instead, they showed the campaign. Blah. AI looked dumbed down. It was a boring-ass mission that looked like a lifeless planet. The trees looked like sticks. The mission structure was just go grab a thing. Like, we've been flying, we've been on Scarabs, firing the planes into space. We've been riding tanks through battlefields, across bridges. We've been fighting drop ships, dropping enemies down left and right. You say I get on a Warthog and go fight 5 dudes sitting there, I throw a grenade at them, they don't even react? What the hell's that? That's not no Vision, that's a Rush job. That's something I was like, what the hell is this? What is this, Halo Fan Fest? Because that's all it looked like. It looked like a fan-made Halo project. Where's the coordination with the grunts, like the grunts running around? Like, nothing. It was boring. It looked plain. And then they had that lame-ass hook shot. Oh, yeah. Hit that thing and float over to them. Or you could hit them and float over to them and make, I mean, oh my God, it looks so weak. The only cool thing was them grabbing the fusion core and be able to throw it. Wow, there you go. There's something. But go look at Halo 4 and Halo 5. And I'm asking too much. That's right, Captain Crunch. Shame on me.
I don't think so, sucker.
That's right. I'm sorry. Too much. For the one game that's all that's left, really, of what Xbox was. And they show that. And it became a meme. And it became a joke. That was the make or break. Then they doubled down after that on July 30th. And right after Phil Spencer. This was it. So not only was the show in July not that great, then all the games that we supposedly were waiting for 2 years ago and saying, hey, where are the games last year? Oh, guys, they're saving it all for next gen. But then you find out that Booty says we're not thinking about generations. Generations don't exist to Microsoft. So what are they saving for next gen if it's going to run on current gen? That whole narrative how's that make sense? Oh, we're saving we're saving all those studio games for next gen. But meanwhile, they're supposedly, we don't believe in generations. Okay, then, like, saving for next gen makes no sense. Sony was saving for next gen because they didn't talk. And they showed games just for next gen. Microsoft's showing games like, oh, it's going to work on the old base system and this system and the cloud. And then what are you saving it? What are you holding on to? You should be talking about more of the future than anybody because you're not held back by anything, right? And the fact that they doubled down after it gets delayed, saying that they're still going to use it on the old systems. But July was the show. And then on top of that, not only was the show not impressive, Avowed looked awesome, cool, but I didn't see gameplay. And Fable was a logo. That rumor was there for 4 years. 4 years! Like since Scalebound got canceled. Like, the thing is, July was the show. The one thing that was shown is now delayed. They canceled Xbox 2020, which was supposed to be a show every month leading up to the release of the console. They did one show in May. Greenberg had to apologize for lack of gameplay. They didn't do anything in June when they said they were supposed to. Sony stole the show in June with their one big show. July wasn't called Xbox 2020. It was called the Xbox Game Showcase. Right after that, right before the Halo delay, they say they're done with Xbox 2020. Do you think that Xbox 2020 was just going to be a bunch of Halo news and a bunch of Game Pass announcements? That's what I think Xbox 2020 was going to be. They were going to have a little bit of Halo news in each of those Xbox 2020s, maybe multiplayer for the next month, and then they were going to have a whole bunch of Game Pass announcements. Because that's what they've been doing with Inside Xboxes. They have some Halo news at this Inside Xbox. You go to it, and then meanwhile it's like, Halo's at Dave & Buster's. What? Phil's going to be on the next Inside Xbox. Oh my God, Phil Spencer's going to be on the next Inside Xbox. What is he going to say? I'm announcing XO18 and keyboard and mouse support is coming to Xbox consoles.
I don't think so, sucker.
Yeah. Just like how in Gamescom, goddamn Jeff Keighley held that Ratchet and Clank demo as a goddamn hostage for that Snorefest. Nobody wanted to see any of that bullshit. And meanwhile, you knew everybody wanted to see PlayStation 5 gameplay of Ratchet and Clank. You held that out for 2 hours. The carrot. Well, that's what I think Microsoft wanted to do with those Xbox 2020s. They trickled out that Halo news so that they could probably have Xbox 2020s. Well, they're canceled now. They're like, oh, we're going to do tweets and all this other stuff. Well, you did a bang-up job in August by canceling Xbox 2020, delaying Halo, and not even announcing the Series S. When the hell are you going to announce that? And on top of that, you lost all your, like, what's going on with these games that you announced? What's your launch lineup? I swear, if they start talking about another goddamn console, and we're still sitting here going, well, what are we going to play on it, Phil? Like, how can you keep doing this without just being laughed out of the goddamn gaming industry? I don't understand it. And that's what grinds me up. I'm like, it does not make sense. How can you sell a product and just be so nonchalant and so just careless with it when you spent 20 years establishing Xbox as a gaming brand? You spent countless money in advertisements to challenge Sony, to make yourself legit. You looked at as a big PC player that was going to come in and just buy in, and you made yourself a legitimate platform holder. You took Sega's spot in the 360. You basically came in here and was a third competitor. You spent all this time competing. And just look at my last video. When Phil said, I want to win this generation, he was talking about this generation. He didn't come out of here with marshmallows. He didn't come up 2013, 2014 with marshmallows. He wanted to beat Sony. Sony was their competition. Amazon was around. What happened to Amazon? Google was there. Google was killing them in phones at the time. Like, Google was not a competitor. They were doing the same shit they're doing now. Google and Amazon, they were doing the same bullshit. But the thing is, you spent all these years to justify, how can you just give it up like this? How can you just put your hands up in the air and just be like, yeah, put the games on phones and you play whatever you want, and I don't even care what we're putting in here. This content looks good, ship it. I just don't understand it. And then come out and do all these bogus ass interviews and step over yourself with saying dumb things. Cross-gen holding back as a meme. Meanwhile, devs are putting games on next-gen consoles because the old tech is holding them back. Well, Phil, I guess it is holding them back. So what do you mean it's a meme for console wars? What the hell are you talking about? And that's the other thing. Before that July show, Phil did all these interviews saying there's all this stupid stuff. I just don't understand the disregard for it, and it frustrates the hell out of me. I just don't get it. Like, it would be great if they just came out and said, here's our counter to God of War. Here's our counter to Uncharted. Boom. Amazing games. And then Sony goes, oh my God, look at their game. Yo, go make our game better than theirs. And then we're sitting here and they're like in a bullet fight back and forth. And we're sitting there going, woo, I don't know what to play next. Instead, one guy's boxing with one arm, and Sony's throwing goddamn haymakers. Like, what's Sony gonna do? Like, PlayStation Now did downloads because Game Pass challenged it. Sony didn't give a crap about PlayStation Now until Microsoft said, hey, Game Pass, bitch. You can download games. Sony's like, oh, we better revise. That's how competition feeds off of each other. And we benefit in competitive pricing and competitive games. You want everybody to fight for your money. If one person's fighting for your money, the other one doesn't care where you spend it, well, guess where your money's going to go? And as a consumer, I'm just so frustrated at how disconnected they are and how Phil, who should be quiet, makes it look like he hears you and just finesses you. It's very frustrating. And there's a management issue there. And I'd be damned if this son of a bitch doesn't destroy the friggin' Xbox brand. By doing, just not doing what he knows needs to be done. You could have two games come out with the same type of launch issues, the same type of display, negative feedback delays the game. Throw Joseph Staten at the problem. Where was he before? Did nobody say, why don't we have him give some input? Since we're thinking about bringing Halo back to its classic roots, why you have Joseph Staten sitting in a goddamn office right there? Get his ass over with Bonnie and do something about it. But no, after you show that game and hyping up that stuff, become a meme, reassure everybody 2 days later that you're still behind it. You liked it before. What's your problem? 343 says to the fans. Then just 2 weeks later, it's delayed to next year. Oh shit! It was a launch title for your new platform, your new console. Now you go to Joseph Staten and say, please fix this or do something? I don't remember the exact detail, but I remember at PAX East, I was playing Voodoo Vince, one of Phil's other favorite games. And as I'm playing it, the person standing next to me is actually the creator of Voodoo Vince. And I was like, oh, wow, you made, yep. He's like, I drew Voodoo Vince. Like, I made the original game back when it came out. I was like, wow. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, like, I'm playing it, and I'm like, it's pretty awesome. And seeing the person who created a game, like, standing next to you, instead of, like, some rep or something like that. He's like, no, I made it. I was like, oh, wow, so you redid. He goes, yeah, we had this. He drew these assets and stuff like that. I was like, oh, wow, that's so awesome. I'm like, I asked the question. I was like, well, if you did Voodoo, I'm like, what have you been doing all these years? Like, you know, like why didn't you bring a Voodoo Vince sequel out? Like, this is like, you know, the fact that you redid it, like, what happened? And he's like, oh, I was working on Kinect stuff and doing all this other stuff. And I'm like, you have this guy who created this character and just been sitting away, similar to like what they did with Rare. With all this, like, he could have made sequels. Maybe they could have turned it into something. And thinking that maybe they remastered it, I was like, oh, wow, you remastered it. Maybe they'll make you make a sequel or something like that. That's what I said to him. And did they know? This is your IP. The person who created it is in the office. Nobody's tapping on their shoulder saying, do something. He was working on Kinect stuff. He was working on something with, I don't know. He was saying he was like, because I don't know, maybe it didn't come off as mean, but it just was just like, wow. So like, what have you been doing? Like all of a sudden, you've been there for all those years. You developed Voodoo Vince, and like now you remastering it, like a decade later, over a decade later. But like, what have you been doing? Like you know? And he said it was on other projects like around. It's the management over there. They don't know what they have. I think these devs and these people, they want to make great games. Nobody wants to do a bad job. You know? I got you, Impatient. You came in late. I got you. I got you.
One of the things I really love about being here is the families that are here.
The babies.
Parents with
the families. And just to finish with my final point, the management. Mike Ybarra tweeted out when somebody said when Cliffy B was saying something like, "Oh, you'll be great over at Xbox Studios. You should think about going there." And Ybarra says he's a free thinker. He wouldn't last a minute over there. To some extent. Like, that's what Ybarra said. Let's see if I can find it. I read it on Salty's podcast. But, like, he basically said, like, oh, Cliffy's a free thinker. He wouldn't last a minute over there. And it's just like, and then Ryan McCaffrey jumped on it going like, hey, oh, the things that Mike would not say while he worked at Microsoft for 400. He goes, I would love to. And then he's like, when all this blows over, we'll do an interview. That's what he said to the thing. Here we go. Is this it? It really was a strange interaction. And Ybarra writes, it's great working with Rod Ferguson closely again. Really interesting. Here. Watch, I'll show it here. I'll leave you with this last thing. Talking about management. I think he would fit great at Xbox Studios, but I think he's happy he retired. Ybarra goes, haha, Cliff is a free thinker. Do as he does. That would not last a minute. Ryan McCaffrey, who blocked me back when I was like talking about Xbox, says, hey, things that he would not say for 400. And then he goes, it's a date when all this settles. 100%. Is he talking about the launch of the console? What is he talking about? But it's just very interesting that, you know, he's a free thinker. Do as he does. And it makes it look like what a lot of the grinders have been saying, where it's just that they don't have the management. There's a lack of vision. Thanks, Bucker Roger. But you know, and with that, it's you know, it's really, really eerie with these two development cycles. And again, we're not in the second delay. Hopefully it doesn't happen that way. And I'm going to say the worst thing, you don't come running to me if Microsoft shows Halo again and we goddamn see Terry Crews as Agent Locke. I hope not. I think I'm going to shut down my channel if that happens. If they got Terry Crews in Halo Infinite again and they put him as Agent Locke or something like that, oh goodness, then we're really in trouble. So maybe I'll shut my channel down because that is just too eerie here. But with that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today for this weekend edition. You know, stay safe. You know, my prayers go out to you know, to what occurred over the weekend, and you know, Wakanda forever, you know. And it's sad seeing those movies and stuff like that. It's just it's sad. He was so young, and really, you know, I thought there were gonna be more shows, like more things for him to do in that universe. But anyways, it's sad. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming out and you know, liking the video and like the video, share it out. Hit that subscribe button if you have not. Let's recruit some more grinders and move forward here because we have it's gonna be a wild ride. Yeah, he was, man. He was Captain Crunch. And it's gonna be a wild ride. And if those consoles get announced this week, you come here. We'll talk about it. But thank you again, everybody. And with that, Grind is out. Have a good rest of the weekend and talk to you soon. Later.